and they will scam you if you're not careful. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Chronicles of Thea. My name is Shannon Thea. I'm a public health inspector by profession. For those who are new here, welcome to this channel. For those who are returning, thank you for returning. So basically this channel we talk about public health related content. We do lifestyle content and a bit of personal finance. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about purchasing a new vehicle versus a second-hand vehicle. So if you are a new public health inspector, you just finished internship and you are getting into your career, right? You are young and so forth. So some persons would opt to get a new vehicle versus a second-hand vehicle, and to me it all depends on the age of the vehicle, right? So the age of the vehicle says a lot in terms of wear and tear, in terms of mileage and all of that, right? So it's good to investigate all of these things before purchasing. Alright, you would want to know if it is that you want a new vehicle. So you have to decide first if you want a spanking new vehicle or if you want a second-hand vehicle, right? So after you have decided on that, you would have to go to the car mart and choose the vehicle of your choice, and then you would have to get your loan from the bank, or if you're going to pay cash, you pay cash, right? So it all depends on that. Now some of these banks want to see that you are employed, like you're a permanent employee, before you get a loan. So you'd want to check out the banks and so forth, because I know that when you just start, it may be harder for you to get a loan, but it is still possible because car loans are one of the easiest loans to get. So you can get it once there is proof of employment and proof of payment, and I believe 3 last pay slips and so forth, and a job letter will also need to be provided in order for you to get your loan. And you have to remember the processing fees, because all banks, you have to pay processing fees once you're going to take out a loan, right? There is no way around it, right? It's either you're going to pay some high processing fee or probably mid-range processing fee, but there's always a processing fee when it comes on to loans. All right, so basically after you gotten all these paperwork, maybe the car mart that you go to will require a down payment for your car, right? So the down payment now can be a percentage of the total cost of the car. So you'd want to find out what is the percentage that you would need to pay, especially if the car may be not a new car, because sometimes the bank will do 100% financing if it is a brand new car. But if it is a car that is about 3 years or even probably less, let's say it's not a spanking new car, you would need to pay some amount of money down on the vehicle. Alright, so you'd have to work that out. So if it is 3% of the total cost, you have to work it out, and you'd have to have that cash to pay the car mart, right? Now, as I said, if it is a new car, then the bank may pay 100% depending on the bank. So another thing for you to do is to check out the interest rates of the different banks, right? As it relates to vehicle loans, you need to check out the interest rates, because you want to get a low interest rate, probably something like 6 point something, or probably 6, right? You don't want to go over 7% interest rate. All right, so some of them have deals going on from time to time, so it's good to get in on one of those deals. Some of these loans even have a section that you can save on, right? So when you finish paying for the vehicle, you would get some money at the end of it all. But it all depends on the kind of loan that you get. All right, so basically those are some of the things that you would need to consider if you're going to purchase. All right, another thing that you would have to consider. So we just finished about the loan and the bank and the car mart and so forth. Remember that you need to consider about wear and tear of the vehicle. So if it is not a new vehicle, you need to inspect the vehicle properly. You need to check the mileage, look at the vehicle itself. Probably you would need to take a mechanic with you to just check on certain things before you actually decide on purchasing that vehicle, just to get out probably certain things out of the way and so forth, because you are not a specialist. So you go to the car mart and you buy a vehicle, you are not a specialist, so you'd want to take a specialist with you to check that vehicle before purchasing, because some of these car mart persons are scammers and they will scam you if you're not careful, right? So you need to check on all of these things before you drive out that vehicle out of the car mart. All right, another thing you would need to know as well, after you check the wear and tear and all of that, you need to know as well how far your pocket can stretch. So you know that a new vehicle, the insurance will be higher for that vehicle than if you purchase probably a 2-3 year old or 4 year old car, right? So you know that the interest rate, the insurance rather, will be very expensive if you are purchasing a spanking new vehicle. Right, so those are some of the things that you need to look into. And remember, the age of your license as well also play a factor, but the age of the vehicle does play a role in this as well. Right, so you need to check out the different insurance companies, see what they offer, see which one is the best fit for you before you choose an insurance company. Some people change insurance company every year, or some are probably every 2 years, or it depends on the services that they offer, right? But it doesn't really matter, because once you get a good company, you know that you are secured. If anything happens to you, or you're in an accident, or if anything happens, they will cover you, right? So you need to see what are the terms and the conditions of your insurance and all of that, right? Another thing that you need to consider is the vehicle spacious enough for you? Is the vehicle comfortable enough for you? Remember that you will be driving this vehicle every day. Does it have all the features that you would need to be in the vehicle for you? Some persons are not fussy. Some persons are quite contented with just having a vehicle to just go around on a daily basis, and it doesn't really bother them as to the type of features that the vehicle has. But if you're a picky person, you would want to choose a more high-end vehicle, probably depending even on the area that you work. So if you work in an area with the road conditions are poor, the area is a lot of bush, whatever it may be, something that will cause a lot of wear and tear, you would want to probably get a bigger vehicle. Even though they are more expensive, you would want to consider something like that. Alright, so it all depends, because even a parish like the one that I am working in, where they move you up a lot sometimes, it all depends on where you are placed, right? Because sometimes they change locations on you and so forth based on what's happening in the parish. So as I said, it all vehicles. As I said, vehicles depreciate. Vehicles are something that every year it depreciates, right? So it's not as if it's gonna, it's not like it's gonna be beneficial if you change your vehicle very often. So it's better to choose something for the long haul. If I want to choose a vehicle, try and choose something good so that you'll have it for a couple of years well, right? So you can probably juice out that vehicle before you change it, right? So basically that's what I would have to say to you about vehicles, about the car loans, about insurance, and about your comfort, right? So remember, where your pocket can reach, it's all up to you, because sometimes you may be getting the pay, but you have different expenses dealing with, so you have to bear in mind all of those things before you decide to purchase a particular vehicle, right? Can you manage it? Bigger vehicle require bigger tire, bigger insurance money, and those things, right? So bigger everything, probably even the type of vehicle, the type of vehicle, so whether it be Toyota, Honda, whatever it may be, all of them have different prices for different parts. Some of them you cannot get the parts for that vehicle and so forth. So there's a lot of things to consider when purchasing a vehicle. So all I can say is do your research. Make sure that you spend time to decide what kind of vehicle will suit you best before you make a purchase. So that's all I have to say on the topic. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you learned from this. I hope that it helps someone, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.